Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me and to participate within this interview. The aim of this interview is to determine how the Agile approach has been adopted in this project, the Examples for Doctors project. Please feel free at any point to withdraw from the interview or to say no comment to any particular question. At the end of the interview, there will be an opportunity to go through the video recording to make any additional comments if you wish. There is no time limit, and you're free to give as short or as long answers as you like. Are you happy for the feature?
Yeah, I'm happy. My full name is Fatemeh Sefipour, and I'm very happy I have an interview with you.
Perfect. Well, how would you describe your role in the project?
My role is a web developer in this project, Exam for Doctor.
Perfect.
Nowadays, I think, no.
No?
We can't adding anything. And we don't have, for example, complete website. We can't adding the more professional function for making and continue this project. I think it's very, very slow because when I was I'm joining this project about beginning of the 2012, but and now I think we want to start after 4 months. We want to start in new year, but we can't making a complete base of this project. I think this project have slowly progress and have a lot of time stop between this project.
Okay, so that's time where nothing's happened, nobody's contacted you.
Yeah, it's something happened, but sometimes we have a stop in this project, and after that we decided changing, for example. But nowadays we decided that the name of project changing.
it could happen, yeah. The name of the domain name could change.
The domain is changing.
I think the
yeah, it's very good. So, I think all the project, the other project I have experience about that before. I think some have challenging, have changing, and at the first the progress of the project come slowly, but after that I think it's very good for this project because we're finding good base of this project, good base software for developing this project.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm happy because the first of the
خوشحالم که مثلا میدیدن که داره پروژه چیز میکنه با همون صحبت میکردم میدیدم پروتوتایپ داره عوض میشه مثلا امکانات داره اضافه میشه آره مثلا خوشحال
Yeah, we have 2 meetings with Simon and Chris, and when we talked about for example the progress of the project. Yeah, I think happy, but after a stop, I think after this long stop with this project, I think they don't happy for this. What does mean? For example, we have changing in the project is very helpful for progress.
Yeah, do we as a team then, or you and Amir as developers say, okay, there's been a changing requirement, but can we make it into a good thing?
Yeah, absolutely. If the web developer, we have a challenging and communication together, it's very useful for progress the project, because if, for example, one person in any project is speaking for progress and decided any way for any strategy for progress project is not useful, I think. I think all the people in the project, we should communication and should have an idea for progress the project, yeah?
Perfect.
In the future, yeah, because now we should choose the good base for this project, good software. I think we have a strong base for this project, and we can add in some function for the future. I think it's very good for the future.
That's perfect.
example, the technical and communication with the programmer. Yeah, sometimes it's very useful, but for example, if in this project we're using Agile, but if using Agile in this project, yes, we should have a communication between technical and programmer, because it's very useful, because the technical, you're making a task for the web developer and choosing the future for this project, and hold the developer in this project, which is communication with the technical, and if, for example, have an idea for the future of this project, we should communication and giving idea and making best decision for progress.
That's really good. How do the business members, say Simon and Chris, how do you think that yourself and Amir, how do you guys communicate and work with each other currently? And do you do it a lot, or?
I think the manager and the web developer have communication each day together. I think it's not useful, because the web developer doing the role of the web developer in the project is very different than manager. If we want to have a completely changing or have, for example, big decision in this project, yes, we should have a communication and have meeting together. But for example, each day for giving tasks or changing a for example, shorting in the project is not useful.
Excellent. Do you think it's good the way things are currently working as for communication-wise?
Yeah, I think it's very good. Yeah.
Cool.
When we have need communication together, yeah, I think
it's there.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, sure. I think when we need this manager all the time is supporting, and we can helping the developer for progress this project. What does it mean?
Yeah, sure. You know the way that you develop the software. Do you think it's important to design it now so that in future you can make changes to it?
You can make, for example, now the decision for the future. Yeah.
No, in terms of developing things now, developing requirements and functionality.
For the future.
Yeah. Do you make it so that it's easy to change in future?
In the future. Yeah, it's easy. Sometimes it depends. Yeah.
میخوای اونو یه جور طراحی کنی که آینده هم
بتونی بهش اضافه کنی یا نه؟ I think no, it's not useful, because for example, in Agile, we're using Agile in this project. In the extreme programming in the Agile, the developer extreme programming in the Agile, talking about this, we should using simplicity program and simplicity design, and we should write program. We should write whole program we need and require this program now. And if you want, for example, adding something in the future, okay, we should give up this, and we should thinking about now of this project. And for example, refactor of code and adding something we should allocate in the future.
So don't do it now. Do it in the future.
No, I think it's not necessary. We should thinking about now of this project.
Excellent.
It's very good. I think whole of the Agile, Scrum, and extreme programming and Kanban talking about this. We should thinking about now project. it's not useful, for example, adding something in the future and thinking about that now.
Excellent.
I think exam for data is a big project, and at the first, when we starting this project and until now, we have some meeting together for developing this project. I think it's very useful, and I know this project have take a long time, but I think it's very useful because it's very helpful for developer and for manager making best decision for choosing best base for making this project, for example, using SE, MVC, using TDD in this project, and using Agile in this project. I think we have good way and good strategy for progress this project.
That's good, very good.
Nowadays, refactoring this project is not useful. I think refactoring, we should refactoring in the future, because now we should thinking and focusing on developing this developing project, and we should, for example, which function is very useful for this project, and we have communication, we have communication, a lot of communication between developer and adding another developer for developing. But refactoring and adding more function in the future, I think it's not useful now.
Okay, at a high level then, at a project management level, a key factor in improving effectiveness is regularly reflecting and looking at your progress and how you've done. And something that can happen is to try and improve your efficiency as a developer or as a project manager. Do you think this currently happens? Do you think team members look at themselves and say, right, let's try and do better? Or do you think as a team we do that?
I think, for example, the manager wants refactoring code.
No, not refactoring.
What?
No, reflecting on how you've done.
No.
Just thinking back, how did you do last week? How did you do last month? Did you do your work well? Did you do the development well?
For example, the manager and the web developer and the other member of the group, we should communication together and, for example, what they done in the project and the obstacle in the project. What is it? Yeah, I think it's very useful because the whole Agile and the whole kind of Agile have this trend and this way. For example, in Kanban and in Scrum and XP programming have a stand-up, and the whole member of the project coming together and talking about this, for example, what they done, what is it obstacle, and what they want doing for this project. Yeah, I think it's very useful. But for web developer and the manager, it's not necessary it was face-to-face. We can communication with, for example, with the, what is the name of it? The chat.
Skype.
Skype, exactly. With the Skype, I have communication with the Skype. But in the web developer, I think it's very useful in each day or in each day. For example, 2 times in a week we have a face-to-face communication.
Does this happen right now?
Yeah, because me and Amir living in Manchester, and all the time we can have communication face-to-face together about this project. For example, what is it we have decided, for example, what strategy today we want doing in this project today. For example, what is it better for progress this project? I think it's very useful. If choosing, for example, another developer in the Sheffield and these developers working together is very, very useful.
Excellent. You mentioned just then yourself and Amir talking and thinking how are we doing? How can we make this better? What are the obstacles? Does one person lead? Do you lead? Does Amir lead?
No, I think I didn't talk about, for example, lead or guide for progress this project. I think the whole developer in the project, we should have a communication together. For example, if I have an idea for progress this project, I should tell to Amir, and as well Amir should tell to me for progress. But leader, I think it doesn't mean, because leader means a manager, and in web developer, I think leader doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't.
That's perfect.
For progress this project, I think whole thing about this project is very satisfying, and I think now we don't have a good strategy for continue this project. For example, now we have a good base for this project, but we don't have a good function and a strategy for continue this project. If we have a meeting together with the Simon and it's not necessarily the developer, we have communication with the manager. We can communicate with the Simon and the other manager about choosing best strategy for making this project as soon as possible.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah, because I think it's a very, very good project. If we can make it, it is very, very strong and good project for uploading in the internet.
Perfect.
I have one suggest for progress this project. I think this project need a more web developer. And if they have more web developer and more communication with the member of the group, I think this project can progress as soon as. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That's really good.
Some question I cannot answer very good, but I try.
That's fine. Is there anything that you'd want to go back to? And
I don't know. I forget everything.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.